I want to give all praises and all honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Rakakadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who taught us it's 100% truth, peace, and safety to the hopeful elect, the 144,000, and all the brethren in the hour. Shalom. Doing a drive on my way to work. Came up upon me, it's amazing how you listen to a lot of these different brothers' videos. It's amazing how certain things, how you basically thinking alike. But I wanted to bring out, again, you can never say it, stop saying it, but a lot of you women really need to focus on listening to the truth the correct way and not picking and choosing what you like and what you don't like. And when you look at this world that's out here that we're living in, I was just, yesterday I had to give someone some help. And when I gave that someone some help, they was very, thankful that I gave them help. But the person I gave help was a female. And the female wasn't disrespectful, very thankful for me helping them, Well, the point what I'm trying to make is that for the ones that are not thankful, you have to realize that there's going to come a time that you're going to need a man. And I was talking to a friend of mine, his daughter just kept screaming that she don't need a man. And I'm saying to her, look, your father has a woman, and his woman needs him, and he needs her. It goes hand in hand. You can't have the right hand and not have the left hand. You gotta have them both. You can't have your right eye and not have your left eye. You could make stuff work, but it works better if it's well balanced. But where a lot of these women really have these problems, they have problems with accepting that they have to take the leadership from a man. And they think by them accepting the leadership that they feel that they're not winning. They feel that they don't have control. For us men that believe in Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, we are willing to accept that we are lesser and that we have to listen to the creator of the universe. And it's like with some women, not all, but the majority of them have a real problem with that. They have a problem with accepting that they have to go to a man. And in this world that we live in, look how this world has done that. We think about in the beginning how the devil tricked Eve, telling her, if you take from this tree, you're bound to be like God. And if you're a God, you don't have to listen to anyone. She should have known at that point she was being deceived. But so many women want that. They want to do what they want to do. But when they know that when it comes times when they have no choice but to listen, then they do it. When their car is messed up, and let's say, I have seen women change tires on a car. I have seen women that are automotive mechanics, and I even am subscribed to a woman on Instagram that races cars. And she works on them. But that's because those women were introduced to that. And a lot of women don't want to introduce themselves to learning anything. Some of them even look at men as slaves. And that's another problem that some of these women are having. They look at, oh, that's a man's job, I'll let him do that. But this, I'm going to take control and do. And then that's when women get their heads confused, because a lot of these women have these jobs, and some of these jobs are over men. And they feel that gives them the authority to talk to them however, how they want, how they feel, and talk to some of them like children. Not respecting the headship. Not knowing by them talking and acting like that, it's going to be a price to pay. Because the Heavenly Father sees all that. Even if a true woman, let's say you have a true woman, right? A Proverbs 31 woman. And let's say she's given a position, at a company, that she is head of the men. And she's supposed to be telling the man, like, they tell her, like, oversee this and see that. Which that happens sometimes. But a real woman will say, hey, listen, I know I have this position, but I'm a God-fearing woman, and I believe in the headship of men, but they gave me this title, they gave me this position. But how we're going to do this is, we're going to do it as if you're still running it. So I'm going to ask you, how do you think this is a good idea? Do you think we should do this? Do you think it should be run like this? Most women are not going to do that, because they're going to feel, well, I have this job, so I'm going to go ahead and do this job and not going to go to this man for any insight. And then I'm going to tell him what to do. And if he's not going to do it, I write him up, or I'm going to give him a hard time. See, we don't have women like that anymore. But this society has groomed the woman into thinking she doesn't need anyone. But when times get hard, that's when she want to listen. And some women, they already know when times get hard, or when something that they can't do. Then they start looking. I remember hearing a sister, well, I'm not going to say a sister, but a woman from back in the day say she accidentally locked her keys in the car. And she was like, man, she was far away from home. She said, man, I got to get these keys out of the car, and my cell phone's in the car. So she couldn't even call, AAA to come and try to open the door and all that stuff. She said, and where she was at, she was like in a hood type neighborhood. And she said, man, I know one of these boys around here know how to get into this car. I know someone. She's like, I'm not. And she was telling me the story. She was like, I wasn't trying to judge her, but she was like, but I still know that one of them know how to get a bed. So she went over to these young men And she went over there and talked to him, and she said she was real kind to him and said, hey, listen, I don't really have too much, but look, I need some help. And said, look, I know one of y'all know how to get in this conference. Y'all gotta get in this conference. I got my keys, my phone, and everything. Can't even call anybody. So, long story short, she found the guy, and the guy got into the car, and she was good. But it shows you that you gotta also be humble as a woman. Because when this stuff starts getting crazy out here, these women are really gonna be looking for some form of protection. And if you really think about how a man's heart really works, we have to have some feelings for you to really care about you, to help you. For the most part. And especially when this stuff starts going all crazy, when people are shooting and stabbing and hitting people over the head, stuff like that, these people are not going to have the time to stop what they're doing. And some men out here are single to worry about helping you. They're not going to have the time for that. That's why y'all women that's are listening to these videos that the brethren are doing, y'all need to really take heed to that and listen up, because it's really going to come a time when women going to say, I need a man. I remember I used to joke around with one of my female friends, and sometimes at work, she would ask me to do certain things for her, to help her out. And I used to joke with her and be like, oh, someone say that they need a man, and I would just poke my chest out and do a little stupid walk. And she would just laugh and say, man, you stupid, But the thing was, she was happy to have me help her. And she respected that hey, there's certain things that men can do, and certain things that women can do. And she respected that. She had no problem with that. But she was an older woman. She was old school. But the thing is some of y'all New Jack women don't think like that. Y'all think that all men for is just to be used, and that we are here to serve you. You are actually here to serve us, and that's not being in a derogatory way. It says in the book of Genesis that the woman is a helpmate. For who? For the man. Not for herself, but for the man. And a lot of you hear these women on these podcast shows talking about, oh, if I have to go 50-50 with them, then I might as well not be with them. See, these women don't even want to be a helpmate. And then a lot of these women are very delusional, not knowing that the squeeze on the whole world, that you have to basically have two incomes to make it. And those that are single sometimes got a full-time job and a part-time job, or some of them got two full-time jobs just to make it. And some people that are together got two full-time jobs and a part-time job or a side job or something they're doing on the side to bring in money. And sometimes that's the man and the woman both doing that, because that's the squeeze that these devils have put on this world. And that also keeps us so busy. Imagine when you're working like that. How are you going to have time to really learn the truth? It's hard. And that's what these devils are banking on as well. Let's keep these people busy, so that way they never learn the truth. Let's keep them upset, because think about it. When you're working like that, you're not gonna be happy. Oh, I just love being at work. No, you're gonna be upset, because you're gonna be working like that. You're gonna be upset because you're working like crazy. You don't have no time for yourself. You don't have no time for your kids. The best thing in life is to have time. Because once your time runs out, that's it. And a lot of you women really need to take the time to just go ahead and say, listen, I got to get a good man. And the ones that are listening to these videos, y'all know where the good men are at. The Aqua. If y'all really want one of these good men, y'all can go get them. And y'all know how to get them. But some of these men might not even want to deal with you, because they're so focused in doing the work. And then if we say something to y'all to let you know, like, hey, we could be together, we can kick it, but just keep in mind, we focusing on this work, because this work is so we can save the hopeful elect. So women also have to put that in perspective as well. Because some women get very, very selfish. And if you look up America, especially America, how things are set up, it's set up for the woman. And if you talk to any foreigners from any other country, whether they're African or men from India or from people from Iraq, excuse me, they'll tell you that this country is woman country. They'll tell you that this is woman country, and it is. A woman will want to go out there and have a one-night stand. And she get pregnant, she go out there and get an abortion. She could do that. So things are catered for them. And then you have men that cater to these women too. You got men, I think that's gonna be the next talk I do too. We got men out here that say God is a woman. You got that nonsense going on. Well, if God was a woman, why aren't these females stepping up to the plate to try to do the right thing? And they're not. These women are out here out of their minds and loose, and show no respect for themselves, for their children, for their man. And then you got these men that also will say, oh, don't put your hands on a woman. But you're not supposed to put your hands on a woman. But you got to understand, judgment happens every day. Every day someone is dying. Every day something messed up is happening to someone. And some of that stuff involves women. You got some women that it still happens to this day. It's nothing new under the sun. That a man has came home and found this woman lying with another man. And if that man puts that woman to death, they want to jail him. But what I seen something that happened recently. It was a woman that did that, and the boyfriend, it was the guy's cousin, and then they were trying to cover it up. Check out what happened. The when the husband came home and seen that his own cousin was laying with his wife, his own cousin was sleeping with his wife. So the cousin was telling him to calm down. So what happened was the cousin shoots his cousin